Hi everyone, and welcome to the assembly video for the T.A.C. X1 toothpick shooter. Here I've taken the liberty of removing some of the support material. The next thing that we're going to want to tackle is getting this slide dislodged from the main body. To do this, I've intentionally left this gap that you can fit a flathead screwdriver into. Just simply twist like so, and it should come dislodged. Once you've got it dislodged, just slide it back and forth, and you're just going to want to make sure that there's no friction here. I'm having to file mine down just a little bit to make sure that this slide slides easily. Once you're happy with how it's sliding, we can move on to the next step, which is installing the trigger. To install the trigger, I'm using 65-pound braided fishing line by Spider Wire. But you can use any fishing line for this. Cut off about a 12-inch segment, and you're going to notice on the trigger that there's this side with a recess and there's a side without. Go ahead and feed the fishing line through the side without the recess first. That way the knot sits inside of the recess when you tie it. Pulling this tight, you can see that that knot slides nicely into that recess. The next step, we're going to feed the fishing line from the middle of the body to the front. Pulling that tight, the portion of the trigger that has the small section, you're going to want to put that in first, like so. Pull it tight, and then now we should be ready for the pin. Once you get the pin started like this, I would recommend getting something of a raised surface or the edge of a table just to kind of lay the crossbow over and go ahead and hammer that pin in. The next step, we're going to put in the spring. This step is pretty self-explanatory. The spring is just going to drop right in. At this point, I would recommend just a dot of glue on either side of that spring. Just don't overdo it, otherwise the spring will stick to the body. One side note is to just pull on the string before you do this. That way the string is not going to come undone, because once you glue that spring in, you can't really go back and retie the string. Now we're going to install the wrist straps. Go ahead and put both of those in. And what I'm doing here is I'm going to put the front wrist strap on, and I need to get a gauge of how long this string needs to be for the ring portion to pull. So grabbing a Sharpie, I'm going to mark right at the top of my knuckles, right in the middle. Now we can go ahead and take this off, and we're going to start applying the main mechanism that goes around your fingers to pull the trigger. Same thing, you'll notice it has a recessed side on one end. You're going to want to feed it through the non-recessed side first, so that way the knot sits inside of the recess when you're done. I'm just tying these knots right on top of that black mark that I made, and then I'm going to pull it tight here. Once we get the ring attached, now we can start looking to put the rubber band in. You'll notice I accidentally slid this slide back. Definitely don't do that. You'll see why in a second. So now I can't slide this thing forward to put the rubber band on. If you accidentally do, just push down on the trigger and slide this thing forward. Just pinch a section of the rubber band off, and you're going to want to feed it from the front, and you're just going to hook it around the left side of that slide. Pull the rubber band tight, just enough for you to get the rest of it through the other side. Same thing, pinch off a section and feed it through the hole. Another thing you can do that is totally optional is to put a second rubber band on to make it a little bit more powerful. Once you connect it on this side, what I noticed on mine is that the left side was tensioned very tight and the right side is pretty loose, so I'm just kind of feeding some of that to even out the tension on both sides, and I'm pretty happy with this. So now to actually use the mechanism, we're going to put the ring on with the peg portion facing towards the crossbow. Put both straps on, and you're pretty much ready to go. Just pull back the slide, and then you're going to twist your wrist forward to fire. Just make sure not to point this at anyone. It can be pretty dangerous. Definitely, once it's cocked, don't point it at your face, your eyes, anything like that. One last side note, because no two toothpicks are the same, I've designed these two tabs inside the housing of the body that are going to have to be dislodged manually. I basically go in from the back with some sort of pick. If you don't hear anything, it's probably fine, but otherwise it should sound something like this. Thanks for watching, and happy printing!